Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
New this morning, the investigation underway into a deadly shooting outside of a firehouse in Jersey City.
Police hope surveillance video can help track down the man accused of following a woman into a building on the Upper West Side and raping her.
Commuters on Long Island and on the LIRR looking for more schedule changes this week. The MTA making some adjustments after a lot of complaints about packed trains and longer wait times.
Taking a live look outside on this Sunday morning, 38 degrees. Calm start to this Sunday. A little bit of a difference compared to what we saw yesterday with the winds and the rain coming down, making it impossible for me to sleep.
It was, but last night, yes, you had an opportunity.
It was very good.
Yes, so it was nice.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Michelle Charles.
And I'm Mike Marzo. Let's bring in meteorologist Danny Beckstrom in for Brittany this morning. So it is a different start to the day, Danny.
It is much calmer out there, and it's a bit brighter as well. Nice to start the day with a touch of sunshine before clouds mix in heading into this afternoon. A gorgeous Sunday ahead. Temperatures even going to land a bit above the seasonal average. Right now, a light wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Such an improvement from yesterday. And the wind continues to trend calmer, but it takes us until tomorrow to really drop that breeze completely. So a breezy day ahead of us with temperatures starting on the cold side, but a milder afternoon ahead. 31 right now in Sussex, 34 for Islip, 33 for Poughkeepsie, 32 down the shore for Belmar, the city right now at 39 degrees. We start the day with a partly cloudy sky, but you see this little window of clearing. We get that late morning, early afternoon before partly cloudy conditions return again for the second half of your Sunday. But it won't keep the temperatures from landing in a nice place. Yes, we are starting cold this morning, 20s and 30s, but a steady climb takes us to the low 50s under that mix of sun and clouds for the remainder of your Sunday. 52 the forecast high in the city today, with the range generally in the upper 40s, low 50s. So a touch above normal. Should be beautiful, especially with a little more sunshine in store for your Sunday. Brighter but breezy, not as blustery as yesterday, but a noticeable wind. The wind will calm for your Monday under a mild mix of sun and clouds, but temperatures holding steady. But Monday night into Tuesday morning brings our next chance for a few showers. The track still not a sure bet, but I'll show you the Futurecast timeout when and where we could see raindrops, maybe a couple snowflakes as we move into the overnight hours coming up in the full AccuWeather forecast. Mike?
All right, we'll see you in a bit, Danny. Thank you. New this morning, police investigating a deadly shooting outside of a firehouse in Jersey City. Investigators now releasing just a few details at this hour, but here's what we know. The Hudson County Prosecutor's Office says a man was shot and killed in the area of Bergen Avenue and Van Nostrand Avenue. We don't know what led up to the shooting, and police haven't announced any suspects. Of course, as we know more, so will you, right here on the air and always at ABC7 NY. Also new this morning, a bicyclist is in the hospital in critical condition after he hit a car in the Bronx. Police say the man hit the side of a car at Brook Avenue and East 142nd Street. This happened around 9:30 last night and then hit an SUV. The driver did stay on the scene. Police say the bicyclist was not wearing a helmet. Now he's in the hospital with what are said to be severe head injuries.
Now to the search for the man accused of raping a woman on the Upper West Side. Police say the man attacked her after following her into a building in the area of West End Avenue and West 65th Street early yesterday morning. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo live on the Upper West Side for us with more on the investigation. Anthony, good morning.
Well, good morning, Michelle. The most unsettling part of all of this, and the most important part right now, is this accused rapist is still out there. And I want you to pay very close attention to the video.
We have a commuter alert for anybody taking the LIRR. The MTA says it is adding more trains this week to try to ease crowding and long wait times. It's in response to riders complaining about that due schedule change after the MTA brought full service to Grand Central Madison. So starting tomorrow, 3 more shuttle trains to Brooklyn will be added during the morning rush. You can see the times. There will also be more rush hour trains on the Babylon, Long Beach, Port Washington, and Ronkonkoma branches. And on weekends, train cars will be taken from lines going to Grand Central Madison, which has seen less demand.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, frustration for another community in Ohio. The state is dealing with a second train derailment in just a few weeks.
President Trump is ramping up his 3rd presidential campaign, and for the first time, he's making it clear that he's going to stay in the race, even if he is indicted.
Lights, camera, the Oscars on ABC7. Live coverage kicks off on the red carpet at 1 through the Oscars at 8. Jimmy Kimmel's back as host, followed by Eyewitness News. And party on through the morning with Kelly and Ryan's After Oscar show at 9. The Oscars, March 12th on ABC7.
Developing this morning, authorities report yet another cargo train derailment in Ohio. This happened around 5 in the afternoon yesterday This derailment involved a train without any hazardous materials on it. The second derailment happened as track removals begin at the site of the disastrous derailment that happened last month. Norfolk Southern will be tearing up 2,000 feet of track there. The EPA gave them the go-ahead yesterday. The agency also has ordered soil testing for toxic dioxins. Residents of East Palestine say they want to be housed elsewhere unless and until there is absolute proof their area is safe.
I'm begging you, by the grace of God, please get our people out of here.
We mentioned tests for dioxins. Those are toxic chemical compounds that take a long time to break down once they're exposed to the environment. The EPA says they could lead to things like cancer and issues having a healthy baby.
President Trump closing out the 4-day Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, last night in Maryland. And before his speech, he told reporters that he would, quote, absolutely stay in the 2024 presidential race, even if he is indicted. During his speech, Mr. Trump downplaying the credibility of multiple investigations he is now currently facing. And he encouraged supporters to remain active in his movement.
In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior, I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
This is Mr. Trump's third run for the White House.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, Chris Rock finally opened up about getting slapped by Will Smith at last year's Oscars. Hear what he shared during a live Netflix special.
We are 1 week away from the 95th Oscars. Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon has a look at what you need to know before the big awards show. But first, here's Danny with Big Dog Sunday.
Finally fulfilling my lifelong dreams of saying, what up, dog, on television. I've always wanted to say that. Bruce from Jacqueline, very handsome. Love Bruce. Then we have Brody from Tom. So cute, little squishy face. London and Chance from Anna. They look like good girls and boys. I don't know. I need to stop even saying that because I don't know if they're girl or boy dogs. Bridget and Mila from Gianna, Juliana, and Nicolette. Thank you so much for sending us your cute dog pictures for Big Dog Sunday. I love seeing them. I'm loving seeing them in my Twitter timeline this morning. Temperatures are on the chilly side. We're starting the day in the 30s, but we're waking up to a touch of sunshine, and we'll see sun and clouds mix in heading into this afternoon. Temperatures trending the right direction. Still a bit of a breeze, but even the wind speeds trending in the right direction as we close out the weekend here. I'll let you know what to expect as we move into the start of next week, and the full AccuWeather forecast coming up.
ABC-7 celebrates Women's History Month by honoring trailblazing women in our area.
Inspiring stories about heroes.
Inspiring stories about role models.
Celebrate equality.
Celebrate Women's History Month. Go to abc7ny.com for more.
For the first time last night on a national stage, Chris Rock joked about being slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars. The comic appeared in a live Netflix special. It was during last year's telecast of the Oscars that Smith, of course, jumped on stage and slapped Rock. Last night, the comedian opened his set by talking about the moment. And talking about the Oscars, of course, we're just 1 week away from Hollywood's biggest night, and ABC is your home for the 95th Academy Awards.
Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon has a look at what we need to know before the Academy Awards and how we can watch the show. Thank you, Sandy. Be sure to join us tonight at 6:30 for our Academy Awards preview show. Sandy breaks down who is up for the biggest award in movies, plus gives insider tips in case you're in an Oscar pool. Catch it anywhere you stream ABC-7 New York. And then in a week, Sunday, 8 p.m., next Sunday, it's the big show. Watch the Oscar ceremony itself right here on Channel 7.
For those who don't know, Michelle has covered the Oscars quite a bit.
Many years, many years.
So tell us, I mean, it's just such an interesting event on TV, but we only see that. Give us some behind the scenes, what happens? Like, what's your favorite moment?
They put the top up, they take the top down over the red carpet, which is not red, it's pink. It's very pink in person, so that it looks red on TV, so it looks like red.
Yeah.
You know, when the actors come out, they're all famous, you know, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's George Clooney. Oh my gosh, that's, okay, Charlize Theron. Okay, so they're coming out through the tent. They just got the TSA treatment, the magnetometer. To the right are the bleacher creatures, and those are the people who get tickets, right?
Oh, to
and those
see
are like
the stars.
regular folks.
So cool.
Right? So you watch. Are they going to go to the left?
Yeah.
To the paparazzi and all of us over here and taking pictures and all the muckety mucks? Or are they going to go over here and hang with these people?
Oh, that's so cool.
And some of them just go vroom, right to the regulars and then come over.
And then make your way.
But it's interesting to see what they do.
No, it's cool.
How did you pick your dress? Did it take you a long time?
What fits? Well, no, they usually make you one. Yeah. But yeah, they make you one. Everything's all good.
So cool.
The underpinning's very important always.
Well, you're the coolest.
Keep it.
Always. You know, and you mentioned the covering. I mean, with all the wacky weather that's been happening in California, this is probably a good idea, right?
The coverings, and they keep putting them up and taking them off. But
yeah, I saw that process has already started, actually, getting ready for it. And it's smart because it has been very active out west. For us, we're settling into a less active pattern for the next few days. Today and tomorrow going to be mild with high pressure taking over. And it's a gorgeous start to our Sunday morning. 39 degrees right now under a partly cloudy sky with a light wind. 39 in the city, but 41 for Newark. That seems to be our mild spot this morning. 39 for Montauk, 36 for Bridgeport, 32 down the shore for Belmar with a light wind. That breeze is going to make a comeback come this afternoon, but not quite as intensely gusty as what we've dealt with for the past couple of days. Here's satellite and radar. So here's that first round of cloud cover that's pushing through the tri-state right now. Looks like we get a window of clearing for the next few hours, and then partly cloudy conditions return come this afternoon. Too early to tell you exactly what we're looking at in terms of rain versus snow, but do want to give you that early heads up that it's this coming weekend that we're looking at for our next storm system. Maybe rain, maybe snow, maybe some gusty wind across the area, but until then, we're looking at that calmer weather pattern. Temperatures pretty seasonable. We should be in the mid to upper 40s this time of year, so that's what we'll see for the majority of next week. But today and tomorrow, a bit milder with those highs in the low 50s. Michelle?
All right, thanks so much. Next in sports, Sam Ryan has a recap of the Rangers-Bruins game. Find out if the Rangers could get the win on the road.
More than a week into spring training, Mets fans finally getting their first look at Justin Verlander in action. See how he did against the Marlins.
The Eyewitness News Wellness Report is sponsored by Hospital for Special Surgery, #1 in the world for orthopedics. Choose better, move better.
Wake up.
Rise and shine with Eyewitness News tomorrow on Channel 7.
Time and temperature from TD Bank.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
2 people in Queens become the victims of apparent hate crimes. Now police searching for the 3 people accused in the attack.
Not a request you normally hear in a criminal case. Why prosecutors and attorneys for disgraced FTX Sam Bankman-Fried want him to be allowed to use a flip phone while he's out on bail.
Looking live outside, a nice start to the Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds. Good morning to all of you. I'm Mike Marza.
And I'm Michelle Charlesworth. So good to have you with us. Meteorologist Danny Beckstrom here this morning, taking a first look at the AccuWeather forecast. Hello.
Good morning, Michelle. Mike, happy Sunday. We're starting with sunshine. Always a nice way to kick off your Sunday morning. Temperatures today will be milder, winds calmer than yesterday, but a noticeable breeze picking up come this afternoon. Right now, the city at 39, but feels like 36, with just a light wind out of the west. That wind speed turns up a notch heading into this afternoon as our temperatures start to climb.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Police are searching for suspects in a shooting that killed 2 people in Newark. It happened yesterday at the Lopez Corner Store on Martin Luther King Boulevard. No word yet on the victims' identities. Investigators are still working to determine what triggered that violence. One person has died in a fire on the 4th floor of an apartment building in Queens. Firefighters were called to that scene in Jackson Heights just after 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The victim was found unresponsive on the floor of the kitchen and pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the fire under investigation.
This morning, police are looking for a group accused of attacking 2 people in Queens. Investigators are calling this a possible hate crime. The NYPD releasing these images of the suspects. Authorities say 3 people got out of a car and then punched and kicked the victims on Junction Boulevard on Thursday. One person in the vehicle is accused of yelling an anti-Asian slur before the attack. The victims were treated for injuries to the head at area hospitals. And the suspect in a subway beating that took place back in January in Brooklyn has now turned himself into police. Officers say the man repeatedly punched 40-year-old Sharon Robinson on a southbound N train. Investigators have not released his name, but on Friday, Robinson told Eyewitness News the man approached her on the train, started tapping her on the shoulder, and she says when she asked him to stop, he punched her several times in the face.
Now to the latest on disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Prosecutors and his attorneys are requesting that he be allowed a flip phone while out on bail. The judge in the case is trying to decide how to toughen Bankman-Fried's bail requirements after concerns he may be communicating on untraceable channels. You couldn't do that on a flip phone. Bankman-Fried has been out on $250 million bond since December and is confined to his parents' house in California. Prosecutors allege he used a VPN to access the internet twice and sent an encrypted message in January.
A different kind of protest against Republican Congressman George Santos yesterday. Several drag performers took part in what they called a Drag Out Santos rally. Happened in front of the congressman's office in Queens. The group says Santos must resign from office or be expelled because of his lies and hypocrisy. Other demonstrators included students who said they didn't even like Santos before they learned about his lies in the past.
We're embarrassed that we're represented by someone who doesn't represent our values, who can't fulfill his job duties, who's letting his constituents down and exploiting every single community in New York 3 along the way.
Just last week, the House Ethics Committee formed a special subcommittee to investigate Santos.
She was a renowned activist who advocated to protect the rights of disabled people. Judy Hoyman has died at the age of 75. A cause of death not immediately released. Hoyman was called the, quote, mother of the disability rights movement, raised in New York, and during the 1970s won a lawsuit against the New York Board of Education. She became the first teacher in the state who was able to work while using a wheelchair, which the board had tried to claim was a fire hazard. She kept fighting. She also lobbied for legislation that led to the Americans with Disabilities Act and other laws.
What a legacy left behind now. As we continue here on Eyewitness News, this Sunday morning, a St. Patrick's Day parade kicking off later today on Staten Island, but it comes with controversy. Why organizers are facing criticism for excluding some groups.
Tonight, a local singer competes to become the next American Idol. Hear from her about the audition process.
And still breezy today, but brighter. You'll notice temperatures are milder come this afternoon as we make our way into the low 50s under a mix of sun and clouds. Tomorrow, same story, but we get to decrease the wind. There's something else coming tomorrow, though. That's a rain chance for the evening hours, maybe some wet snowflakes as well. I'll show you Futurecast time out those chances and a full AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Daytime's #1 talk show returns to the Oscar stage. Live at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, California. Monday, March 13th.
Welcome back. Staten Island's St. Patrick's Day parade kicks off this afternoon. The route begins on Hart Boulevard, goes west on Forest Avenue until Jewett Avenue. This year's Grand Marshal is Martin Crimmins, a native Staten Islander and former NYPD detective. Staten Island's parade has been criticized for, once again, not allowing groups to show their support for LGBTQ rights. The parade begins at 12:30. And the St. Patrick's Day for All parade is happening today in Queens. The parade begins at 1 this afternoon on 43rd Street, goes down Skillman Avenue in Sunnyside. Organizers say the event is meant to be inclusive of all groups. It was first put on by Irish people not allowed to march in the 1999 St. Patrick's Day parade on Fifth Avenue under a pro-LGBTQ banner.
In less than 90 minutes, more than 6,000 runners will take part in the Washington Heights Salsa, Blues, and Shamrocks 5K. The race starts on Fort Washington Avenue near West 172nd Street at 9 o'clock. A children's race will also take place before the adults run. That's pretty cool. It has been an uptown tradition since 1998 and celebrates the diverse community along the race route. Good luck to all the runners. It is Big Dog Sunday. Brittany is not here, so we have Danny in for the Big Dogs today. Danny, what do you have?
Brittany did leave me with some big dogs.
Oh,
so
look at that.
Don't worry.
Are you kidding me?
Gemma, it took me an embarrassing long amount of time to realize this was a filter. I was like, how did they get this dog? He has glasses and a bow. Michelle, Gemma is just an absolute doll. Now we have Maya from Marianne. She's so cute. Love her pink leash. And Jack. This is my dream dog. I love little doodles. So Jack, thank you, or Karen, thank you for sending us Jack. And Touche looks very cozy on this Sunday morning. Temperatures are starting the day in the 30s. We're seeing some sunshine for now. A few clouds mix in come this afternoon. Bit of a breeze lingers today, but our temperatures are milder, so it'll end up being a really nice Sunday under that mix of sun and clouds. Good to see low 50s come back. Tomorrow, same story, but we get to exit the breeze. So wind speeds are calming, moving into the work week. We do have a couple chances for rain on the 7-day. I'll time those out for you in the full AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Now to the severe weather hitting parts of the country this morning. At least a dozen people have been reported dead following powerful storms.
We're talking about more than a foot of snow that fell in parts of New England after that same system spawned tornadoes and damaging winds throughout the South. ABC's Chuck Severston with more.
12 people dead. That's just terrible. 1 million people without power. power across the country, and we're looking at
finally calmer.
Chill out, time.
Well, it was the same system that they were just talking about that brought us the gusty wind and rain yesterday morning.
Right.
So now that's moving on. We get to settle into a calmer weather pattern. We're not completely in the clear in terms of rain and maybe snow chances, a couple possibilities on the 7-day. But for today and most of tomorrow, high pressure is in control, so we get to see calmer conditions. Gorgeous shot there, partly cloudy to start our Sunday morning. In the city, it's 39 degrees, but 34 for Islip, 33 for Poughkeepsie, 32 for Belmar, 31 for Sussex. The warm spot is Newark at 41 degrees. The wind is light right now, but the breeze does make a comeback come this afternoon. Not nearly as blustery as what we dealt with yesterday, so trending in the right direction, but it takes us until tomorrow to really drop those winds. Want to show you the satellite and radar. Most of this morning is just quiet and partly cloudy, but we're starting to see maybe a few flurries pop up on radar here in Dutchess County, Ulster County. If that's actually reaching the surface, nothing that'll stick, just a few flurries out there. But I'm watching this area right here. If these flurries hold together, maybe flurries sneaking into northwest New Jersey, but most of that will taper off once it moves off the mountains. So no, we don't expect any sort of accumulating snow, just maybe a couple flurries associated with these clouds this morning, and then partly cloudy moving to this afternoon. Highs today, again, 52, that's the forecast high in the city. Generally upper 40s, low 50s across the tri-state. Tonight, 20s and 30s, and then tomorrow looks about the same story, right? Temperatures land in a similar place, but it won't be quite as breezy for tomorrow. And then tomorrow night is when we have that chance for maybe a few raindrops and maybe a flurry or two with that system that at this point seems to slide across to our south. Temperatures are a touch above the seasonal average moving into the start of next week. Then by Tuesday, looks like we're near normal. After tomorrow's potential for that system passing through, we settle into a calmer weather pattern through the work week. This is the European forecast model, and it seems to bring another storm system Saturday into Sunday. Way too many days out to tell you details in terms of rain versus snow, exact timing, gusty wind, that kind of stuff. But I do want to just give you that early heads up that this coming weekend seems to be our next chance for a storm system. Until then, relatively calm conditions. Today and tomorrow seems to be the mildest days of the next 7 with those highs landing low 50s. Should be a nice Sunday and a great Monday as well. Michelle and Mike? Oh, we're sending it a break. All right, we'll be right back.
A new day is a new start, and there's no better way to start your day than with Eyewitness News This Morning with Ken Rosado and Shirley Nellica and all that's new in your neighborhood.
We begin with breaking news.
Newscopter 7 is live over the scene.
Sam Campion with the newest AccuWeather updates.
Here's what's going on as we go through the day.
And Heather O'Rourke to get you going in new directions.
This could impact your commute.
Feel like new with Eyewitness News. Tomorrow on Channel 7 and wherever you stream ABC7 New York.
All right, coming up in just a few minutes is Good Morning America's Weekend Edition.
With Johnson standing by to tell us what's going on. Good morning to you.
Hey, Michelle and Mike, good morning to you both. Coming up here on GMA, 18 million Americans across 16 states facing intense wintry weather this morning. The latest on the dire conditions in California and the track of the next storm as it comes ashore. And overnight, comedian Chris Rock addressing that infamous Oscars slap that shocked millions of viewers a year ago. What he said about the incident in the first ever live event on Netflix. Plus the viral moment for a young composer and how her mother's requests to musicians around the world helped bring her daughter's music notes off the page. It's all ahead right here on GMA.
I love that.
Yes.
Bringing out all the feels, as they say this morning. All right,
music and mommies. I love it.
We'll see you soon. It is 7:57, and this morning the search continues for the man accused of raping a woman on the Upper West Side. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo live on the Upper West Side with more now on the investigation. Anthony.
Well, that's right, Mike, and the most important part of this story right now is that accused rapist is still out there. I want you to pay close attention to the surveillance video police have sent out. You can see the suspect apparently discarding clothing that he wore during that alleged attack, and that suspect caught on building security footage ditching his jacket. Police say this is the man who raped a 21-year-old woman. Cops say it happened yesterday just after 1 in the morning inside an apartment complex not far from West End Avenue Avenue and West 65th Street. Investigators say the suspect followed the victim into an elevator and then forced her out into a stairwell where he raped her. The suspect eventually running off. He's described as 5'8", approximately 150 pounds, and believed to be in his 30s. Last seen wearing a black jacket, gray sweatshirt, and black pants. And again, police are asking for anyone with tips to reach out. We're live on the Upper West Side. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Anthony, thank you. Starting tomorrow, schedule changes on the LIRR. The MTA says it's going to add some trains this week to try to ease the crowding and the long wait times. 3 more shuttle trains to Brooklyn will be added during the morning rush. There will also be more rush hour trains to the Babylon, Long Beach, Port Washington, and Ronkonkoma branches. The move is in response to the riders complaining about the schedule changes after the MTA brought full service to Grand Central Madison.
We'll see how that works out. Final check of the AccuWeather forecast on this Sunday.
It's a pretty good one, right?
It's easy like Sunday morning.
Not too bad out there. Temperatures this morning are still chilly in the 30s, but heading into this afternoon, milder conditions in the city. We're already bumping it to the low 40s under a partly cloudy sky. Hour by hour today, mix of sun and clouds. Maybe a few flurries this morning. Northwest New Jersey, maybe a couple snowflakes, but nothing that'll stick. Today, temperatures climb into the low 50s. You'll notice a breeze. Light as gusty is what we dealt with yesterday, so moving in the right direction. Tomorrow, repeat performance, but not as much of a breeze. A mild mix for our Monday. And then Monday night into early Tuesday morning, maybe a shower swinging through, but it's not much. And then we settle into a pretty calm stretch through the work week.
All right. I always try to pay attention. I know what to wear.
Thank you for trying.
I always listen to you guys.
Thank
and then I follow you.
Good.
And I tweet it out. There you go. Thank you, Danny. That's it for us. I'm Michelle Charlesworth.
And I'm Mike Marzo. We'll see you in an hour.
The Oscars live Sunday, March 12th on ABC 7.